The second component we want to talk about is breathing. In a biological perspective, breathing is just the process by which we take in oxygen and throw out carbon dioxide. Consequently, our lungs distribute that oxygen through the blood into the heart, and it pumps it everywhere oxygen is needed, and then carbon dioxide returns and the lungs throw it. But this is not the kind of theory of breathing we are going to need in unified meditation or any kind of meditation. It's more than that. In meditation, breathing has a much bigger scope than just the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide with the surrounding around us. So, in meditation as a whole, breathing is a process through which we are able to channel our bioenergy or prana. Also, it is a mechanism with which we're able to control our mind. You can visualize it as a stitch that joins the mind and the body. Many people are not aware of this unique relationship between the mind and the body. The two are stitched together by the breath. So many people who feel that they have lost control of their mind because it thinks in all directions and in excessive amount should practice breathing meditation that will not only help them improve their 13 components of consciousness, which is the goal of unified meditation, but it will really help them have a focused mind, which is a very simple objective. In the earlier section, we compared breathing with the fuel for meditation. So now that we have the posture ready, with all the transmission and the wiring, it's time to inject the fuel and let it go where it needs to go. To understand breathing in the context of meditation, look at the diagram and observe the first one, wherein I have shown the lungs and the face, as well as the rectangle which represents the brain of a person. Now, what is happening is the air is coming in, and as I just explained earlier, the lungs take the air where it needs to go, as we have studied in our biology classes in school and college, and then it throws it out. However, in this diagram, you will see a bit of contradiction. The arrows, as you can see, as we breathe, is also extending to the brain of the person, and from there on it is returning back to the lungs and out. Now obviously it's not the oxygen that is directly moving from the lungs, but I'm implying it is the prana or the bioenergy that is making this circuit. Now, to prove this, we would need to have technology to be able to measure the flow of bioenergy. And that's a very far away objective, because we haven't been able to prove that bioenergy is a real physical energy and not just some psychological makeup of some highly creative yogis. So, what I'm showing here in the first diagram is not the actual flow of air, but is the flow of prana. What you must understand is the air around us is also made of prana, as well as what we traditionally know as oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and so on. I want to take a look at the third diagram. Here I'm showing what I've just told you, that even the trees, they not only produce oxygen, but they also output prana or bioenergy. And that is why when we go in the forest, or when we are surrounded by greenery, we not only feel a surge of more oxygen in our brains, but we also feel a kind of energy in us, which we can't really explain. Again, it's not provable scientifically yet, but it's very difficult to deny the existence of prana. Besides that tree, there is this meditating person, as you can see. Now, the truth is that the human body also produces prana from the various centers of consciousness that we have talked about earlier. Again, this is purely my hypothesis, and I do not expect you to believe it. But this is what yogis of past have kept believing. Many people who are familiar with literature in meditation and yoga have heard of a state called breathlessness, whereby the yogi is able to not breathe. Well, this is possible because the yogi is taking in the prana from the COCs or chakras from inside of him. So that is the theory. Next, I want you to take a look at the diagram number 2. Here you'll see that the x-axis represents time, and the y-axis represents the volume of air in the lungs. So basically what the three curves are showing is somebody breathing. You have to refer to the fourth diagram, which is a table. So the green line represents somebody who is breathing in and out quickly. The purple line represents somebody who is able to hold his breath when he takes in the air at least. And because his breathing is deeper, he is able to have a lower rate of breathing. The third curve, which is the blue one, shows that this individual is able to hold his breath when his lungs are full as well as when his lungs are empty. Consequently, you'll see that he can retain much more oxygen in his lungs. Also, he can stay for a longer period without oxygen in his lungs. Now, this is the difference between breathing in biology and breathing in unified meditation. Take a look at the table. What it is telling you is the more air we depend on, the less prana our chakras or COCs produce. So the green line produces the least prana because it needs more oxygen. Then the purple curve shows that there is some level of oxygen deprivation, but it's not too much. So there is an average volume of prana being produced in this case. But the most interesting curve is the blue one, whereby you can see that there is an extended period whereby the lungs are free of oxygen. Now, it is in this period that prana is produced in more volume. This is exactly what we want. We want to have more prana in our system throughout the chakras. You'll ask why? The answer lies in the figure number 5. What it reads is that the mind's power is directly proportional to the volume of prana in your system, and indirectly proportional to the volume of air in your system. Now, that will take eons for me to prove that scientifically, so don't even get me started here. How do I know it's true? Well, I've experienced it myself, and I'll give you some personal anecdotal proof and the examples of different meditation techniques below. As early on, we will just briefly brush through the various meditation techniques that are specialized in this particular component of unified meditation, here of breathing. The assumption is that If you need to know more about them, you will do your own research, which is so easily done through the internet nowadays. In addition, since you already get my own perspective on those particular techniques, you would have a certain inclination which will help you while you do your own research. Breath awareness is the first and easiest technique. Many people don't even call it meditation, but in fact, it is a meditation. You don't have to have your eyes closed to do this meditation. Simply just be aware that you are breathing. The best way is to count your breathing and at the same time have a stopwatch next to you. So the idea is to measure how many breaths in and out you take in a minute. Be like a scientist and note down your readings. By practicing this technique, you will be able to increase your concentration and your mind will fluctuate considerably less. However, breathing is not the only and the most effective solution for overthinking. This is because you might be worried for genuine reasons which are beyond physiological, like breathing. So I recommend that you read my book, How to Manage Overthinking, if you have problems with controlling your mind. However, breathing awareness will get you a bit more calm and straighten up your mind more than if nothing was done. I could have categorized this particular walking meditation under exercise meditation, but it's too simple, and I've realized that what it does is regulate your breathing and make it rhythmic. So if you have difficulty in really controlling your mind, the best thing to do is take a walk. That will increase your rate of breathing and make it deeper. Needless to say, there is some endorphin creation that is involved that results in a state of calm and serenity. But the breathing helps a lot to control the mind while you are walking. While you breathe in, count up till 4, then hold your breath till 7, throw, and again hold your breath by counting up to 8. This is the beginning of real breathing control. And as I just mentioned to you earlier, the idea is to jumpstart the production of prana from the various COCs in a higher quantity. This person, Mr. Hoff, is known to be able to swim in the Antarctic or very ice cold water, and his body is warm no matter what. And this is a particular technique that he talks about a lot. The Tibetans have also mastered this technique. They had their reasons, maybe because when it was very cold, they needed to keep themselves heated. Although I doubt the significance of this technique in today's time, where we have heaters and air conditioning. And even if you don't have them, you have cheap blankets made in China. Now, Kriya Yoga is the most important technique for mastering breathing. It's an extension of the 478 breathing meditation technique. Now, the idea is to elongate this period of holding your breath, both when your lungs are full and when your lungs are empty, indefinitely. However, do not pinch your nose in such a way that you will not be able to breathe. That is not the objective at all. It's a very powerful technique which is beyond the scope of this book. All I can say is that I use that, as I mentioned to you in my untold story of meditation. I was able to master it within 2 weeks because of my past life practice without being able to stop the breathing process. Further enlightenment is impossible. because there would not be enough prana in the body. I encourage you to investigate more on this particular Kriya Yoga techniques, because if I tell you more, you might endanger yourself. Now, let me make this section more relevant in terms of knowing what does the mastery of breathing means. As I told you, I use the grading system as the title of this chapter suggests. So in level 1, breathing is all about having the ability to control your moods and mind. As I told you earlier, I was able to help people with psychological disorders like panic attacks and PTSD to manage their attacks when it actually occurs by using breathing techniques. So it's very powerful. What I told them is if your mind is totally gone out of your control, and even your body is not cooperating with you, just be aware of your breathing and just try to get hold of it. And both the physiology and the psychology will take care of themselves. So when you are basking in the component of breathing, it just means that you have at least good control over your body and physiology and mind because of your breathing. That itself is a great achievement equivalent to many years of meditation. In level 2 of meditation, you will be able to hold your breath at times and take deep, long breaths up to your abdomen mostly. Now, it's not that your breath is growing really there, it's just your imagination of that breathing, as I showed you in the diagram number 1 there. You take their prana from your nose to the abdomen, then back up. You could take the imagination of your breath up to your genital area or your anal area. It's just more than your imagination. It's actual prana moving in those places. How can you be sure of it? Try it and you'll feel something energetic in the area you focused your breathing to be the last point or the U-turn point. Being able to breathe so deeply gives you immense control of your mind. Also, it will help you in your soul work. Now at level 3, you are able to extend the period where your lungs are empty. Now, as we discussed earlier, the deficit oxygen will be produced in the form of prana by the various chakras or COCs in the body. So in this stage, you will feel a real shift in your 13 components of consciousness. You will feel smarter, more creative, more analytical. You will have more energy in your body. You will be less tired. It's just amazing. It is people in this stage that you can see in the various stunts whereby they are run over by several tons of trucks and people hit them with stones and bats and nothing happens to them. This is the stage of flying that driving that they are in. Although that is the potential, I don't recommend it. So instead, I believe that you should focus in the mental and emotional aspect of level 3 driving, whereby you are able to stop your breathing and force the chakras to produce prana. Now, in level 4, you would have reached a stage whereby the ingoing breath is stopped by the outgoing breath, and at the junction, there is a filter or seepage or some kind of system whereby the oxygen and carbon dioxide are passed, but without the contraction or the expansion of the lungs. Now that's epitome of the breathing meditation. You might call it Kriya Yoga, although I do not want to fully credit them for this teachings because It's much older than that. You can find it in the Bhagavad Gita itself. But if you need some basis to do your research, then as I told you earlier, explore Kriya Yoga. Now, what happens when you are able to totally stop breathing without pinching your nose and gagging yourself, of course, is a rapid expansion of your 13 components of meditation, especially of your brain. There will be an increased radiance on your face because the high level of prana in your system. It's a very powerful state to be in. The amount of prana that is produced is huge, and it will help you fuel all your soul work, mind work, focusing work, and unlinking work. In the level 5, it means that you are able to hold your breath, and the lungs will not have to contract and expand. That was also true in level 4, but here this happens naturally and without effort. It just becomes your normal state. So you are in this state of breathlessness every time. Of course, when you do exercise and your body needs real oxygen, the prana from inside won't be enough, and you will be forced to take long breaths, but that doesn't count. Being able to stay in this elongated, incessant state of breathlessness is unimaginably blissful. Amazing connections with the universe and the world around you occurs, and it just keeps expanding. At the final level 6 of swimming, it should have passed many years or decades or even lifetimes having practiced this breathlessness. This person would be in a natural state of high positivity, indomitable spirit, and sainthood in even the worst and most adverse situations. In this level, it's very difficult to be tired because you always be filled with quiet, unstopping, elegant energy. So it's a beautiful state to be in. I'm really hard pressed to find an analogy or a metaphor for the beauty of this swimming state of breathing. It just feels like you are in the cloud all the time. You don't need any kinds of drugs because you're always high. I haven't consumed any drugs, so I'm not able to compare directly, but I believe based on what I read and what people share to me that when you are in this level 6 of breathing, then you are all the time intoxicated with the bliss and prana that is so profuse inside of yourself. And that's the pinnacle of breathing in unified meditation.